Welcome everyone to SHOR, the official podcast of MDI. Today we have a very exciting guest with us, Mr. Anirban Basu. He has spent a lifetime at Nestle. He started back in 1987 and he quit a few years back in 2021. And today he's guest faculty and he has been doing that for a few number of years at leading B schools in India, including MDI. He's also running his own firm called Boiling Point, and we are so lucky to have him, and we are willing and we are hoping that we're able to extract as much knowledge and wisdom from him as possible. So thank you. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Novi.
So, sir, before we begin, I just want to talk about your childhood a bit. Where did you grow up and how were you as a student back in school and college?
Oh, it's an interesting question. I started, I'm a very, during our times, the focus was not in so much on studies. It is much more holistic. Every parent had 2, 3, 4 children. So most of them, the expectation of parents were also not to get 90, 95, 100 marks out of 100. So it was much easier for us to live a childhood, So primarily my childhood was a very usual childhood. I was not a very brilliant guy. Never I was. And never it was an intention to be a very, brilliant guy, not with books always, most of the time with different type of, the sports and games and everything. And so I started in a government school. Normally during those periods, there were no private school. And it was one of the best government school of Calcutta, known as Hindu school in central Calcutta. My father was in Indian Air Force, so he was always in traveling. And so as he was, in fact, I remember when I got admitted in this good school, at that time, my father got transferred in a place called Bhuj. Today, Bhuj is a big place, but during that period, means 70s, Bhuj has got nothing. At that time, there were no schools and something like that. And my parents decided that, okay, I'll be staying in Calcutta for a better, future. And I started staying with my, grandparents. So that is my childhood, and I stayed with my grandparent till my job, my first job, and first and the last job. It's been still around 20, 25 years. I got my 20 years, or not job. I got married also from my grandparents' place. So primarily, my schooling is in Calcutta, and then I have done my English honors because again there was no pressure that you have to become an engineer or something like a doctor during that period. That whatever you are, you feel good and you can do that. So I did my English honors from University of Calcutta, and during those period, whoever is doing something in English, they have got a standard job. After the English honors, you are called because all of us used to be taken by some of the newspapers. Not Times of India was not very strong at that time. In Calcutta, there was till date there is a newspaper called The Telegraph. All this is an ABP group, Anand Bazar group. So all Bengali honors, good Bengali honors students, they used to join as a Bengali journalist in Anand Bazar, and all English students used to get into the Telegraph. So that was my fortune. Probably that I would have ended as a journalist had I not got a small insertion in one of the newspapers at FSL, that is Food Specialities Limited. That time it was not Nestle. Food Specialities Limited is taking some people as a canvasser or something like demonstrator. So I was not at all, aware of what is called a demonstrator or something like that. I typically, as a college student, I have seen only one thing, that a newspaper with all this knowledge and a branded newspaper is giving me $750, whereas these people, as a demonstrator or whatever it is, they are giving me $1,875. Wow. So there is no question for a college fellow. And I was always young because I never studied in class 1 to class 4. So I studied directly. I joined in class 5. During those periods, it used to happen. So at 9 years, I have been put to class 5. So, by I think 13 and a half, I cleared my 10th. And by 17 and a half or 18, I cleared my graduation. Wow. 18 saal, at 18 years, if you get something in 1987, you get $2,000. By that time I left all my aims and leave all these journalists. But important thing is, I can still remember, it is full of girls. You always know that English honors is always with girls. Yeah. We have got around, I think, 40 students. Out of that, 5 students were males and 35 were girls. Almost all they are journalists. Means my 95% of the friends are today. They are journalists and they're continuing as a journalist. Probably I am one of the exceptional candidates who has joined into a multinational and as a demonstrator. So that is my childhood. Not a very brilliant fellow. Again, I'm telling to all the management students and something like that. Sales and marketing is Okay, nowadays it happened because nowadays it is 99.9 and something in I am and then in MDIs and good colleges you get. But if you see the history, uh, not always a IIM graduate has risen into the game. It is not always. There are many in general, very general type of candidate. They haven't done a very good management. They didn't come from a very good management school, but they have become stars in the sky of market.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that is important part. Yes. Yeah.
So my question is, so why did others not join? I know everyone wanted to become a journalist back then. So others could have also followed because the pay difference was really huge. Why did others not choose?
The thing is, probably there is something which worked with me is my father's job. He was a traveler. He was in Indian airports.
Yeah.
So I have never seen my father to be a very typical parent. My father and mother, they were always like, okay, that there are during my father faced two important wars. One is the Chinese war and then the Pakistan 1971. So my father was always a very as a soldier, he was a very lucky means we say a very happy type of guy. He says, boss, whatever you want to do, try it out, because there is nothing called that you have to make a career here and you have to do. So I was lucky that I got a set of parents who never pushed me that, okay, because my marks in 10th was very good. Means I could have joined in engineering also. I could have joined in fact, I got in medical also, and then I got in a college called Bankura Christian College, which is at that time it is Bankura Medical College. At that time it was one of the medical college, but I by my choice I have taken English. Nowadays you'll not get a guy like that, or not a parent will allow you that you got a chance in a doctor or you get a chance in MBBS, and after that you're choosing an English honors. So, but during that period, probably my background has helped me to take a decision. Ki bhai, dekha jayega. I mean, let us see what happens, because but nobody, and the other thing is, what you have to understand is that people till date, it is till date it is there that if you go to any very traditional house today, means, or if you are coming from a background of that you are first time you are into MBA, you are the first person in your family in an MBA. Before that, everybody is a government person. For them, a government job, a bank job, a doctor or a chartered accountant or an engineer or an IAS or a journalist is a much, what I should say, it is a much, a better proposition for a career of a child. So nobody wanted to be a demonstrator. Nobody even knew. My father never knew that what I've done. In fact, till date, they don't know that what I have done in my last, okay, they have seen me traveling one country to another country. But if you ask my father, who always was a government employee, and my mother, who was a very typical government employee's wife and a strong homemaker, she never understood. But unfortunately, both of us, myself and my brother, who is actually a head of country for another Swiss company called Zurich Insurance, and he's the CEO for that. But both of us, in fact, my father always wanted one of these guys, of these two people, should join in NDA. Okay, Defense Academy. I have never been allowed to that because I was always an overweight fellow. Okay, I was always so I was never. I never got a chance. But my brother, he went for a NDA, and then he said that I don't like it, and then he came back, and then he has done his IIM Calcutta. Before that, he has done his engineering, and then he joined in corporate like Seat Tires, then ONGC, and then he is in Zurich Insurance for the last 25, 30 years. So none of us. So for both of our career, for my parents, are very different and very out of the box, because during those period, no parents wanted something which is beyond those 4 or 5 or 6 professions. Okay? But we are lucky that we could try it, and I in fact I joined Nestle to buy a bike. That is a different story altogether.
Okay. So, sir, what exactly is a demonstrator, sir? Can you explain it to us now?
A demonstrator is a very typical thing. A demonstrator is, in fact, I've been called by a guy, and if you ask me that why did you stay back with sales, because I was also a little egoistic. I used to write for newspapers. Okay, not as I mean, as a freelancer. So I have written some of the good articles during that period, which has been anchored in different newspapers. So every guy during that period who used to know English better, or might be they have got a ego, and I also had that. And I thought that there must be something, boss. 2000 rupees means 2000 rupees, $1,875 during that particular period, which is big money. I said, let me see what is this. And then I met a particular person called, the person who has taken my interview. That actually changed me. His name is Jaspal Bajwa, means my next branch manager. I got, because in a branch, Calcutta branch was headed by a very young branch manager called Jaspal Bajwa. If you go to Google, you'll find Jaspal. He has become a great guy after that. He has become a world famous coach today. And before that, he was a worldwide head for Dr. Reddy's lab, and then he was a big shot into Bosch and Lowe.
Okay.
So at that time, Mr. Bajwa took my interview, and the first day of interview, I found that there are very different type of people because I was from a very mediocre family, a Calcutta, North Calcutta traditional family. But there are people who came to join in this particular position from the southern part of Calcutta or the modern part of Calcutta. Everybody is wearing a tie. I can still remember there were around 75 people who were sitting there. Everybody was with a tie, but I never knew that how to wear a tie, and I have come there without any understanding also.
Yeah.
Okay, so I found that this is a very different type of species who are waiting here. They are not like me, Everybody is with a full sleeve, white shirt and with a great trouser and with a tie, and they are waiting. And during that period, there was nothing like mobile or something like online type of stuff. So everybody is going through a GD or an interview, very very offline type of stuff. So it is taking a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I'm the only person who is odd man out. One of the person who came to me and he says that, do you know how to tie? I said no. I said that okay, fine. I found that I am a little bit misplaced. But when I've come there, let me see also, because I knew very well that I will not be there within the next 20-30 minutes. Okay, because absolutely a very different looking guy, because I have a casual t-shirt, not t-shirt. Actually, I have taken a folded shirt. Okay, during that period there was no jeans. There was a terry cotton pant I've worn, and with a sneaker type of, not sneaker, that was a canvas type of shoe.
Yeah.
Oh, I've come with that. But people have come with the polished shoes and with ties and belts and tucked shirts.
Yeah.
So I never thought that I'll get that particular job.
Yeah.
At 11 o'clock at night. Okay, one after another, people are going, one after another. At 11 o'clock, I've been called. And I'm sitting also. That is also again, it is from my parents I got. That there is nothing to be tensed at all. My father used to tell that I'm in Indian Air Force. I don't know when I'm flying and when I'll come down. So that particular thing was in our gene. That okay, dekha jayega, let us see. And my parents, I used to stay with my parents' parents, my grandfather. As my father was in Indian Air Force, he was also a very happy-go-lucky lucky type of fellow. So he was never tensed. There was no telephone, nothing. I came at around 9 o'clock at 7 Year Street, where I do my interview. At 11 o'clock at night also, I'm sitting there. I don't know how many will be taken. Some people are telling, boss, I am out, I'm going. Some people are asking there that what type of questions have been asked. Okay, the only thing what I know is that I am more or less fluent in English. Yeah. That is my only thing. Otherwise, nothing is fitting into that game. Everybody with a polished shoe, with a grey, trouser, and I have got nothing.
Yeah.
So a series of interview has been taken. And then Mr. Bajwa was there. I can still remember Mr. Jaspal Bajwa, and I remember means I am into a connection with him. He's a great guy. I think, had told me at 11 o'clock that tomorrow you have to go to Bhutan. Today at 11 o'clock, and tomorrow 6 o'clock, and there is a flight ticket. So get ready. Wow. Again, my father's job helped me, because we were always ready to go anywhere, anytime. Because my father used to go, today he is in Bhuj, tomorrow he is in Kalaikunda in Kharagpur. After, in one day he has to shift from Bhubaneswar to Pune. So I was not a very typical Bengali type of fellow, sir, sochenge, or might be I'll be thinking. I said, boss, you give me the ticket and give me some money so that I can buy something. Yeah. Would you want to go to? Would you want to go home? I said, if there is no time, what is the flight? He said that the flight is at 6 o'clock. I said, but now it is 11 o'clock. Let me go straight to the airport. Yeah. And I need some money so that I can take some, shirt and, trouser at least, and going there. Yeah. And he asked me that, will you not ask me that where you will be staying or something like that? I said, it's such a big company. By that time, I know that Milkmaid and this thing, it is a world company, because a series of interviews have already been done. I said, with such a huge company, I don't mind. Means I think that you have something you have arranged for me. But tomorrow I'm going. Then he started laughing and said that, no, it is just a joke. Okay, so you tell me when you can join. And then I think February 16th, I have taken. They said me February 1st, but I have got some small exam for my English honors or something like that. I said, sir, I've got an exam. I'm on 11th or 12th. So then he said that either half of the month or it is in the full month. So then I got a permission to join in 15th of February or 16th of February 1987.
Wow. So we are approaching the 38th anniversary, 38th.
Yes. Yeah. I completed 34 and half, and then I left. I could have finished 40 years. That is a very different story. But, because I left this because I lost my mother and I did not want to leave my father. That is the reason I have resigned at an age of 56 or something like that. So that is the thing. But I would have continued, no issue there. So that's the starting.
Yeah. So, sir, we just want you to give us a brief overview of the 34 years that you spent at Nestle. What all did you do, and what are the major campaigns that you were?
Yes. Yeah. Started as a demonstrator. A demonstrator is a very typical thing. It is that during that period, it is a Maggi decade, because it has been launched. It means just launched, 86, 87, commercially launched. And we say that we are the Maggi generation in Nestle.
Okay.
Till date, I love that particular brand more than my wife. I'm telling you very frankly. Okay, because I got my job for that particular brand. Okay. So they said us, I think we were taken out of 76, 4 people have been taken. Okay. Out of that, 1 was me. So finally, when I got that particular job, my only thing which is coming up on my eyes is 1875 rupees. And at that time, there was a receptionist called Madhu. She told me it is not only that. Along with that, you get a daily allowance also, which is around 200 rupees or 175 rupees. So I calculated it is around 5,000 bucks, which is more than an IS during that particular period. It's a big money. It's a big money. I can still remember that. Means after today, means in my last days also, my disposable income was not equal to my initial days of disposable income. It's a huge money because us normal standard government employees used to get 400, 500 rupees boss. And I used to have around 200 rupees a day or 150 rupees a day for 25 days, which is around 3,500 rupees as your allowances. 3,500 and another 1,800 or 1,900 rupees, which is your salary. So 5,000 rupees, and with that you have got a car and you take anything. Okay, so never you feel 462 rupees was Calcutta to Bagdogra air flight one way. Okay. 462 rupees, 462 rupees. During that particular salary, I can travel 10 times up and down. In my last days also, I cannot travel 10 times Calcutta Bagdogra. I remember from that particular thing. It's a huge one. Yeah. Okay, so it was during that period, it was really multinational. What I can tell you, even as a salesperson, I never joined. During that period, it was not also that. Okay, there were brilliant guys, like Bajwa, he came from IIT IM. So there were brilliant guys. They used to come as the branch managers, and then there are 1 or 2 senior officers, and then we are juniors. Okay, so this, and I never thought, because the day one I started, I've taken a can in my hand as an urn, and in another hand there are some, there is a bag behind which has got some noodles. And then I used to make it. So that is called a demonstrator. I said, boss, ye kya ho raha hai? This is not my job. I am an English graduate, boss, from Calcutta University. And, I can go tomorrow. And I'm seeing all my friends, they are joining in Telegraph, they're joining in, different newspapers. And that is a very different, that's a very, white collar job. Means, vis-a-vis mine. I'm on the footpath. I'm on the footpath of Calcutta, standing on footpath of a Calcutta or a new market in Calcutta, and standing there and and I'm preparing from the hot water, and on the other side is a noodle someday with a urn and a bottle of coffee in Nescafe, because Nescafe is also during that period it was demonstrated very highly. So I'm a demonstrator. I said, boss, ye kya ho raha hai? In fact, I'm not into this is not my right place. And then you are going to do
all this.
Huh?
You must have thought that it was beneath your dignity to make.
Absolutely beneath my dignity. My father was in Indian Air Force. Most of my mother's side are professors. Okay, so some of them are they are in Calcutta University teachers. One of them. In the meantime, there are different stories. One of my uncle, he has seen me in New Market with a coffee urn and coffee urn and a coffee powder. They have told my mom or auntie or somebody or no grandfather, I don't know, I cannot remember, that your grandson is a hawker, bhai. He's a hawker. So now typical things are. And what happened is, sometimes I'm finding, but the money is big. 18,000 rupees. 18,000 rupees is a motorbike. I thought, boss, it is only 4.5 months. My aspiration will be done and I'll go. Okay, I'll start it, because that was my, that was my dream. Ki ye to mere ko lena hi padega. And I got ki bhai, idhar se ho jayega, because idhar 5,000 rupees mil raha hai in a month. If I save it in 3 months, if I would have joined Telegraph, it would have taken me 3 years. Abhi to 3 mahina mein dekh, within 3 months I can see my bike.
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought, boss, this is not possible. First of all, this job is not possible. I'm going to a pan ka dukan, and there I'm selling, noodles. And pan ka dukan, he doesn't even know how to talk. Okay, he's a lungi guy, and with a lungi, and he's telling, and always with a bad gali and something like that. I say, boss, where I've come? Okay, money is already all. I'm into it's a dichotomy. It's a dilemma. कि भैया मैं छोड़ूंगा. If I leave, then 6,000 rupees on spot is going out of my hand. 6,000, 7,000 rupees.
It's a lot of
Okay.
money.
And every day I am like a king because the company has given me a car. If I have come because I've been stationed at that time in a place in North Bengal. Okay, so North Bengal, Sikkim, Gangtok, because noodles was sampled there first, because the company was also with an intention that probably this will hit more into a hills market.
Okay.
It has come down and then now it has become a all across story. That is a very different story. But in that period, it was very logically they thought that noodles it will be a better product for it fits better in a hill market. And I have been sent to that particular hill market. Okay. So every month we used to have our meeting, and never we have gone at that time during that period into a train. It is always in a flight. So mamla yehi hai that one side you are in my lifetime I have never gone into a flight, but during that particular 5 months I traveled at least 20 flights. Okay, always when I'm coming at my home in Calcutta, there were stickers of flights, and all the uncles at the locations, at that locality. See, it was you are doing something which is great. Yeah. So there is something which I cannot leave, and there is something which I cannot hold, because I cannot take that I have to go and spend my time with the pan ki dukan, and with a grocer, okay, and telling them, boss, tere ko maal chahiye kya nahi. So it was a huge dilemma. First, I'm telling you, first 6 months till the time I have been posted in a place called Bhutan, where I have been told that now you are going as a Maggi demonstrator, clear Maggi demonstrator, and you will be given a van. The van is known as QPN van, quality product from Nestle. Okay. The van was very advanced design. I can still remember it. It opens in different. You can see today, wheels, hotels on wheels or restaurants on wheels. During 87, we have got those imported vans. Means those used to come from outside. I remember, but I forgot which are the countries. Okay, Maggi used to bring those vans, branded vans, and then it is opened four-sided, and then there was a television. Television was also very not very common in all the homes. Okay, so there was a television, and we have got gas and everything fit in. And then Maggi, we used to go to Bhutan, 1,600, 16,000, 15, 14,000, 13,000 feet. My van is going. It is a branded van is going, and that is a green pasture. A green pasture. The place is known as HAA. Okay, and there are 50 children running behind that particular van. Maggi. That day I understood that probably this is my place. I will not leave the job. Okay, that is the first day I become very serious. And then we opened that particular, van, and then we started, given weight sampling of Maggi noodles, and the television opens with Mere Sapno Ke Rani Kabhu Aayegi Tu, and then, all during that period, Amitabh Bachchan and, 80s, from Rajesh Khanna to Amitabh Bachchan, all songs in that particular television. And I started with some beautiful girls, 2-3 beautiful girls with me, because they are my promoters, and I headed that particular van for 6 months, or not 6 months, 3.5, 4 months. And probably at that time I started loving the profession. So it was not by choice, it was by chance. But then maybe in 6 months I thought never going back to journalism or something like that, because even in journalism at that time, people, my friends, they started telling that there are risks. Whenever you are reporting something, people are changing it, and their bylines are all getting changed. I said, boss, mere ko bhi Bhutan mil gaya, because I love traveling from the very beginning. Okay. My North Bengal territory has got a portion of Bhutan, portion of Sikkim, Darjeeling, Kalimpong, all hill stations. So let me stay back for another 1 or 2 years, because I have been given that particular, I think, job of a demonstrator or something called a sales promoter or something. I forgot. Sales promoter for 1.5 years. So from a demonstrator, which is absolutely a hawker's job, to a sales promoter means you are with a tie and with a company apron, and you are leading a team of 3-4 promoters, and you are the head of that particular van or something like that. So that was my starting point. So I think this will be a great learning point for all people here, especially because MDI, we get a lot of marketing companies here they come to recruit over here. And a lot of people face this dilemma that after graduating from such a top school, you have to spend time in the hinterlands and work on basically almost doing a blue collar job. So I think this experience would be a great point for them to learn that it is about being patient and learning a lot and imbibing as much as you can, because I'm sure all this experience helped you later in your career. One thing I can tell you, my dear friend, this 5 to 7 years, whatever you do, this is the only learning what you can take the dividend for your life. Nothing gives you today, whatever I teach, that I am in MDI also, I am in MT Ghaziabad, I am in some of the schools. I speak from my first 7 years. After that, I become a boss. Okay, I lost the, touch of the ground. I lost means regular touch. from the ground. But till date, I am taking the dividend of that 7 to 8 years.
Yep.
And I am continuing that with a 5 to 6 outlet per day visit till date. Because if you cut it off, then you may lose it out because it is a very dynamic market.
Yep.
My market during that particular period in 87, till date, believe me, today also, in this particular, I'm not very well. I'm also having a little fever. Today also, I went and visited 3 outlets. One large outlet, I can buy my everyday breakfast from one outlet only. I need only milk, eggs, a bread, a piece of bread, or some bananas. I can because I buy it every day. But I buy it, these four products from four outlets. Do you know why? Because I love to visit them. There are consumers, there are shoppers, and I do it every day. I do it every day, not today, because I left the job. I'm in my retirement mode for the last 4 years. In this last 4 years also, probably it will be I can count in my hand when I missed visiting an outlet.
Wow.
Okay, because this is something what I can tell you, that passion. If you ask me success, what makes a marketing guy successful is something that, let's see, whether you are in a banking profession or a finance or in FMCG, whatever it is. First thing first, what you have to do, you have to have a passion to love people, to talk people, to see people, to meet with them. It is not a job of a particular person who spend time with himself or herself. You have to be with people, number one. Okay. Number two, for a success in marketing is a solid observation skill. You have to observe people. Means observe people in every action. How he is buying from a footpath. A shopper is buying from a footpath, or how he is buying a Rolls Royce, or how he is buying a Scabble suit, or how he is buying a premium watch, or how he is buying a little bit of a potato chip. Because this observation is good. Okay, this sharp observation skill. So first is passion to look around, because if you don't have a passion, then there is no question of observation. So first you have to love to spend with people, or to spend in the marketplace. Okay. Second is the observation. Second is an observation, and third is an insight. Because you are studying a lot of things in theories, in knowledge. You are because you are 1.5 years is solid. 38 syllabus, 38 or 36, I don't know how many papers. It is a solid knowledge. The important factor is whether this particular knowledge can be connected with your observation, because nothing in practicality or in application you can do which is out of the theory. If somebody says, if some company person says that, okay, I say that I'm from Nestle and I do it like myself, there is nothing called a theory. It is impossible. Every action what a company takes, it is backed with a theory. The beauty is how your insight, which is insight, what is the definition of insight? The definition of insight is apparently non-connected dots can be connected in a meaningful way. Okay. So apparently non-connected dots can be connected in a meaningful way. So whatever you have studied, whether it is the Ansof's growth theory or whatever you are studying, you can see that the same thing is applicable in a modern trade. In a modern trade by Unilever or by Nestle or by Cadbury's or by Marico. If you can connect this, if you connect so first is your passion, second is your observation, and third, if you can connect, if you can generate this insight where you can connect your knowledge and theories with your observation of applications, then you make it. Then you'll find that probably marketing is the best profession in life. And believe me, I got it maybe after 7-8 years of my hardcore working into the field. Today I can connect. If I see there is a scheme which is going on, which Amul is running a scheme, or might be Unilever is running a scheme on a shelf, I can immediately connect from which particular theory or which particular knowledge this is happening. The day you can connect this, you get the pleasure of this particular.
Sir, we wanted to know how did Maggi become so popular in India? Because it was launched in 85, I think. And how did Maggi become so popular in India today? Because it's consumed by almost everyone across age categories.
See, the product has been, again, I told you before also that we are Maggi generation. So Maggi launched before I joined, but during our stay, initial days, maybe 87, 88, 89, it became a national, what I should say, heartbeat. What I can say that this is probably, we joined as college students. I joined at around 2021. Thanks to the organization that we got a product which is classically launched with all 3 success factors of a particular brand, which never changes. Again, I'm telling you from the theories, the 3 success factor for the brand is consistency in messaging, 2 minutes noodles. It talked about always throughout till date. It talks about convenience. It has been launched, what I still believe, ahead of its time, because Maggi has been launched not as a breakfast to replace a paratha or a bread or a roti. It has come as on a convenience platform, and from day one it talks about fast to cook, good to eat in 2 minutes. It is a 2 minute noodle, and the two is very big. So consistency in messaging and its identity. So it includes visual elements. It talks about tone of the voice, messaging all across the platform to create a recognizable and trustworthy brand image with a 2 minute mention, which I think has clicked all India, because during that particular period, 87, 88, 90s, um, uh, the liberalization takes place, and then gradually dual income group and these people started coming in the, so India started getting modern from late 80s, and Maggie came at that time. If you ask me, if you see the timing. The second thing is, the first is consistency in messaging and its identity. And the second is a clear understanding and connection with the target market, its consumer and shoppers. We never, when we thought that we'll go across the country, we never thought this particular product to be a rural product. We never thought this particular product will be cooked by a mother for half an hour instead of a paratha. Okay, it is happening. Till date, it is happening. If you go to a interior of Uttar Pradesh or Patna, you'll find a mother is cooking it with full gobi, with aloo, and then with gajar and with capsicum. And Maggi is prepared in different markets, in different places, in different ways. But we always focused on the convenience. We talked about 2 minutes, and we have continuously. I can still remember as my during 1987-88, for 1.5 years, I just have shown Maggi noodles how to cook it, and I completed that particular cooking in 2 minutes, exactly in 2 minutes. It is written on the pack shot that how from a hot water to to the plate. It is ready at just exactly at within this 2 minutes. So primarily the clear understanding. So first is top three success factors for the brand. If you ask me clearly, first is consistency in messaging and identity. The second is a clear understanding and connection with the target market, with the consumers and shoppers. Who are your shoppers? Your urban shoppers, your now young couples who are going to office. They need a convenient breakfast in 2 minutes. They want to make. So it was the product. And finally, delivering a very high quality product or service that fulfills the brand promise. If you ask me, these are the three typical things what makes a Maggi, from its initial focus to hills, and it can be another hill product, which is a noodles type of thing, to a completely convenient breakfast option for the newly started generation who started as double income group in late 80s, late 80s to early 90s. And then with the increase of double income group, with the increase of dual income group, the husband and the wife, Maggi has, the story of the winning of Maggi carried on. So this is, if you ask me, this is the success. These 3 points are the success points for the brand.
Yeah. And sir, what about the campaign? Because the campaign advertising plays a huge role. So do you remember who were the people behind the 2 minute noodle? Because that became synonymous with Maggi. So, and Maggi has known to have very innovative campaigns. I remember one campaign where all the people, kids primarily, who were licking the bowl as well after eating Maggi. I think 10 years.
Maggi has been, Maggi, I cannot name one particular agency behind Maggi, because Maggi is a success which is an effort of Nestle marketing, Indian marketing team. I should talk about two people here. One is Jaspal Bajwa, who was my branch manager. He started the concept of Maggi, and then he became a branch manager. And then the second lady was Sangeeta Talwar, who has taken over from Jaspal and taken Maggi noodles across. Well, these are the two people who are our bosses. During that period, they headed Maggi noodles to take it across the country. Apart from this, are numerous agencies. I cannot remember the agencies only, not only marketing agencies, not only because fast to cook, good to eat is done by some agency. Then you and Maggi make tastier meals is a very different one. Okay, so when we understood that only Maggi noodles doesn't, it is not inching ahead. At that time, we said that okay, that lady has also to be included, and then I think there are number of agencies. If not, it is not less than 6 to 7 agencies during that particular period, if not more. Apart from this, innumerable BTL agencies who worked with us. I remember I started Maggi Quiz for children. You probably did not get, because before that Maggi Quiz is over. 1988, 89, 90, we started Maggi Quiz in schools up to a target group of I think class 5. And one of the biggest names of quiz has started Maggie quiz with us. His name is Derek O'Brien.
Oh,
I worked with Derek.
wow.
I worked with Derek in Maggie for Maggie quizzes in North Bengal, Sikkim, and North Bengal Himalayas, hills, Sikkim and Bhutan. So we did. I remember still till date in my territory, Derek has done not less than 300 consecutive Maggie quizzes up to a level of class 6, and then there was a wet sampling, a huge wet sampling till class 12. So those, Derek was the quiz master, and then he has become a big quiz master. After that, he has gone for television, and he did, the Cadbury's quiz contest, which is, and then he has become big. After that, Derek did not come back to Maggie quiz school quizzes, but he started with Maggie quiz in Eastern region, and I was fortunate to. I worked with 2-3 people I always remember. One is Mr. Jaswal Bajwa. One is Derek. Yes, Derek with Derek 300 schools or 250 school Maggie quizzes. Good. And another person I should always name, who was my boss for 3 years. His name is Ajay Banga. Today he's a big shot. Okay. So Ajay was our branch manager, and we used to report Ajay during that particular period. I think 1989 to 1991, 3 years. Ajay Banga, who replaced Jaspal Bajwa, and probably for Ajay, I think with his support, with his market visit, with his knowledge. At that time, it was a very small company. We were only 175 crore company. When I started, it touched 100 crores actually, or 125 crores. And with Ajay, we were only, I think, 10 to 12 people who worked for 3 years. So that was a brilliant 3 years. I think who has given us, who was instrumental behind a lot of people like me, okay, who built us what we are today. So whatever it is, so I told about you that the 3 elements of Maggie success is consistency in messaging and its identity. Second, the clear understanding and connection with the target market consumers and the shoppers who are our exact shopper for Maggie noodles. And finally, delivering a good quality product that fulfills the brand promise. Typically, these are the 3 success factors for the brand. And after that, it started becoming a lead brand, and probably it is one of the rare examples which is leading the category for the last, I think, 35-40 years.
Yeah, exactly. So, sir, that was great. And so Maggie later expanded into other product categories as well. So could you talk about that, and what role did you play in that?
Yes. There are good stories and bad stories. Yes, always like one umbrella brand, and always all the good companies want to optimize that particular umbrella brand. So Maggie becomes an umbrella brand, and noodles is not a international product. You have to understand that noodles is a very Indian product. Maggie noodles is Maggie. The brand comes from Italy. It is our own brand. Italian Julius Maggi was the person who had a cooking unit. This was a small story, but under Maggie, the Maggie noodles is a success story for India, and then it becomes a case study for different other markets. So after noodles, there are sauces, cold sauces. We came in. In cold sauces also there are success stories. Like we have got one product which is tomato ketchup, Maggie tomato ketchup, which is into a fight of number 1 with Kisan, and till date Kisan and tomato ketchup in some of the states, Kisan is number 1 in some of the, because Kisan is also a very big brand. It is with Unilever. So tomato ketchup market, there are 4-5 players, but out of that 2 players are actually enjoying around 80-85%. That is Unilever's Kisan sauce, Kisan tomato ketchup, and Maggie tomato ketchup. So these 2 are the second success stories under Maggie. The third, which is a very unique product, which is the chutney sauce of India, and that is till date we enjoy. Maggie enjoys, Maggie hot and sweet enjoys, which is a very Indian taste. When this particular product has come, we had our marketing team had a apprehension that whether we'll come out with this particular product or not, because it is not a typical sauce. It is not a tomato ketchup. It is not based on tomato only. It has got a different type of masala. It goes well with Indian snacks like samosas, like chapatis and parathas with that. So whether it is a sauce at all, because finally a tomato ketchup or a ketchup itself is coming from a Western structure. So hot and sweet is a very Indian sauce, and it has been launched till date successfully. It is enjoying a clear-cut mandate of approximately 70, 75, 80%. No other brand. There are a lot of companies they wanted to take this particular share. There is a product called Tomchi. There is a product called Masala Chili. So there are companies. Unilever tried, and Voltas tried. A lot of companies tried, but unfortunately, this product is standing tall. And when we launched it, there is a story on this particular brand, that when we launched this particular product, many of the people, when we have actually put this to some of the consumers, they say that when we ask them that how is this particular sauce? And then say that it is not sauce. Somebody says that it is not sauce. Some says that it is sauce, but it is very different. It is different. And then you will find that always hot and sweet has got the tagline that it is different. Probably we also don't know till date. I don't know. I didn't ask the marketing team at that time, but probably the marketing team has also thought that this is the best way to keep the tagline that it is different, because it is better not to explain that what this product is. Until date, happily, the hot and sweet is also a big success for under the Maggi umbrella. There are products which did not do well under Maggi. There are then a series of products has been launched. We successfully run Maggi soups for a long period, for approximately 7 to 10 years. We worked with Maggi soups, and then Nor soup came into the market. We were market leader for a long time. Nor fought for a long time with us, and finally Maggi soup withdrawn. Maggi soup is not, it has been discontinued. We tried with many types of soups. You can find that we tried with different regional varieties, but finally the company took a decision not to get into Maggie's get into the soup category anymore. So now Nor is actually the number one, with Ching, I think, the second in the market. Maggi is no more with the soups. We had something called pasta sauce. We tried with some pasta sauce also. That also, in fact, in FMCG it happens. You carry on launching products, and there are some products which gets hit, and some products which doesn't get hit. Now in Maggi, typically Maggi generation, 87 or 88, when people were at, when the target group at that time was class 5, class 6, class 7, class 8.
Yeah.
So in 87, who were in class 5 today, they are 40 plus. They are 40 plus, no, they are reaching 50.
Yeah.
So Maggi has a product which is, many of these people are at an elderly, they are into the walk of elderly age. And so probably many of the doctors, or might be their physicians, are also telling us not much of this type of snacks outdoors. So also usually thinking on our core target group, we have launched after that Maggi oats and Maggi atta also, which are into in the platform of nutrition.
Yeah.
So Maggi is actually still with that particular solid base of the noodles. Maggi is still trying to extend its wings with a health platform like Maggi atta, Maggi oats. Maggi pastas are coming, so it's continuing.
One more product that is very common now is the Maggi sachet masala that we get, because I use
that is under Maggi, but many people make a mistake that is the Maggi masala of noodles. It is not. It is a taste enhancer that is known as masala-e-magic. Okay, so that is a masala-e-magic. That is there are, I think, because it is launched when I left Indian market, I think after that, but this is a product which is a taste enhancer, the same subject. Again, if you see, this particular platform is very convenient platform. So the Maggi as a brand, the biggest promise what it gives is that it gives a good quality product to a certain set of people who need convenience today. So you can cut the same bhindi, the advertisement, if you can remember till date, and that bhindi has got a different taste with different masala-e-magic. So there are 3, 4, I think there are different taste of masala-e-magic, and there is maybe an onion based, there might be a spice based or something like that, and you can take the same bhendi or same aloo and use the Maggi masala-e-magic. Maggi is again the umbrella brand. Masala-e-magic is the product, and you can use that particular salt based spice, which gives you a very different taste of the same sabji. Again, it is a convenience. You cut your sabji, put the masala-e-magic, change your taste. You take it as your tiffin and go quickly to your office. So it takes very small time. Again, it is a convenience platform.
Okay, got it. And sir, I remember the It's Different campaign, and Javed Jafri was the face of that campaign for a long time. So how was that?
Not only Javed Jafri. So we are talking about Maggi Hot and Sweet. I told about that. Yeah. So Maggi Hot and Sweet, Javed Jafri and Pankaj Kapoor. If you see, one of the longest duo, and they constantly challenged that particular tagline that when consumers talked about that it is different. Yeah. It is not tomato ketchup. When we asked them, when the consumers, when they tasted the Hot and Sweet, they say, yeah, this is different. And again, Javed Jafri and Pankaj Kapoor challenged the consumers. Isme kya difference hai bolo to? So whenever, in burst, that particular duo came into the picture, and they started, and they carry on challenging the consumer. Bhaiya, isme different kya hai bolo? So one particular person always tastes it, and then Pankaj Kapoor says it is different. Javed Jafri pagal hoke puchta hai, what is different in it? And then again Pankaj Kapoor says, yeah, it is different. Yeah. So it's a very funny, and it is a very the same set of people who are giving again consistency in messaging and identity, a clear understanding and connection with the target market, and finally delivering a high quality product. See, again, I told you in the very beginning that the theory of marketing doesn't change.
Yeah.
If you see anywhere, what are the three success factors for any brand? The three success factors for any brand is consistency in messaging and visual elements. Second is a clear understanding of your target market, your consumers and shopper, and delivering a high quality. Any product, it goes through this theory. You have to just connect. You have to just have that particular insight that how a Maggi sauce or how a Maggi hot and sweet or how a Maggi masala noodles is connecting to these three top success factors.
Yeah, got it, sir. And sir, the last few questions. So when we talk about Maggi or Nestle, sir, we have to address the fact that Maggi got banned for a few years in India.
Yes.
So how did
Unfortunate.
that, and it was a great way for a new brand to emerge. For example, I remember going to a store and Yippee had emerged as a good brand in noodles. And I was telling the shopkeeper to give me Yippee, but he did not understand what I was saying. But in the end, I think he got an idea and he told me, oh, you want Yippee Maggi? And then he gave me that noodle. So Maggi has become so synonymous with the category itself that it was such a godsend opportunity for a lot of companies to make a mark in the industry. But I think after Maggi got back, even now it has the biggest share in the market, but the other players have managed to carve a space for themselves within the market. So what do you think about that?
Very correct. Very correct. See, every product goes through sometimes some, accidents. Again, I say a company who is, don't talk about Maggi noodles. Talk about Nestle produce a product which is named as Lactogen and NAN. We give this particular product at a child just after the birth. At that time, that child doesn't have a very developed, immunization system or might be a very developed. So if a non-lactating mother is there, we are a company who deliver that particular child with an alternative mother, with alternative milk or a food, which is known as NAN or lactogen. So you can understand that what type of security and what type of safety measures a company can take for a particular product which has been given to a child on the date of birth. Okay. So from that angle, Maggi noodles was always taken with a lot of safety measures. But it happens. If you see in Google, you'll find a lot of real story about. I mean, so you will get the real story of Maggi, that how the lead, the lead as the excess of lead has come into Maggi from one factory in Uttar Pradesh. So I am not going to deal on that how it happened, because again, we produce Maggi noodles in, I think, in more than 10 factories today. In fact, Nestle has got more than 10 factories, and all the factories, except one or two factories in one coffee factory or one or, baby food factory, we produce Maggi noodles in all the factories. Only one factory where we had a problem of excess of lead. And that has actually created a hassle, because we are also not very much ready at that time, because Maggi was doing well, it was faring well, and from one particular factory, the lead came, the water was, which is high in lead, and then after that, the debacle has happened. And then there was a huge hue and cry, and we have actually, if you see the entire story, the case study is available in different management books. We have been told to withdraw the product. We have been told to withdraw the product, even if somebody has taken, some consumer has taken, छोड़ो दुकान से तो उठा लिया, means we have withdrawn from all the 3.5 million outlets that you leave. We destroyed whatever product we had with us. That also we have destroyed. It is also approximately 500 crores. I think it is to the tune of 500 crores. I cannot say exact number. And the most important factor is we have withdrawn the product from the consumer's home. Even if 25% is left, 4-pack Maggi noodles, 3.5 has been eaten. If there is only 1 pack, half pack has been, saved somewhere, we have paid them the entire money. So that is again some activity which has actually built in that immediately we have taken. I will highlight rather that how the revival has taken place. First of all, I told you that the product was classically, following the 3 success factors: consistency in messaging, clear understanding on the connection of the target group, and delivering a high quality product. And when the Maggi started getting revived, at that time, we have taken again our 6-point measures. The 6-point measures are very important, which is, the first was, we have gone to the government and we have given our product from all our factories, and we said that, boss, this is from one factory, and check from all other 10 plus factories our product and see that whether. So FSSI, after some time, they understood this factor, and then they said that, okay, fine, you can start the product. But by that time, there was a huge gap, because when we were out from the market for approximately 6 months, before that, we had a huge whooping 80-85% market share, more than 80% market share. So that particular blank space has to be taken by one. You cannot take by it cannot be taken by one company. So you can see many companies came into being. There is EP, there is YY. I don't want to name. There is Patanjali who launched noodles. So there are many companies who launched them. Yeah. Now the thing is, for I think for a 6-month period, the product was not there. Most important factor is it a death scene? Is it a death of a particular brand, or we can revive? The 6-point revival factor is more important for marketing, and that I will share here. Yeah. Transparent communication, emphasizing the product safety. Every statement, everybody. We have got 10,000 plus distributor salesmen. We have got approximately 4,000 distributors. We are 500 sales officers. Above them, we have got approximately 100 plus area managers. Above them, the regional sales managers, then the branch managers, marketing, sales, and back end people, supply chain. Everybody started communicating on a single point communication, that is utilizing. So primarily, it is a transparent communication, emphasizing only product safety, nothing else. We have given that how our product has been cleared by government, what are the documents. All of us, I can remember, all of us used to travel with a Maggi file, and there we had approximately 6 to 7 certification that it has been clear. So first was transparent communication, emphasizing the product safety. Second is leveraging the emotional connection with the consumer. By that time, you'll find that we launched a very unique type of consumer engagement campaign that is called Me or Meri Maggi. Can you remember?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And you remember that your face comes on the pack shot, and you have to give us a story that what happened with you in Maggi noodles. So you become my entire consumers. I tried to make them nostalgic with that particular product. Yeah. We wanted to bring their nostalgia or their memories back with and that made a magic. I think that is one of the brilliant approach or a marketing campaign by the marketing team at that time. Me or Meri Maggi, where we put the faces of the consumers and we narrated their stories on the packs, and that has actually. So that is the second part. So first is transparent communication, emphasizing the product safety. Second is leveraging the emotional connection with the consumers for such a long time. They are our connect. Third is the strategic marketing campaigns, adaptation to the local needs. So we not only have gone with the above the line, so we have gone very strongly on digital presence to manage the public perception. You will find us in Facebook, in Instagram. We become very strong, but that did not work. That did not work for the 38% of our business, which is from the rural market. So strategic marketing campaigns, not only for the digital presence in Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and WhatsApp, wherever it is. It also, along with that, we have adapted to the local needs. We went to the panchayats, we went to the local, in the gaons, in the villages where there are key opinion leaders. So there are panchayat heads, there are headmasters, there are Anganwadi people. So that is also another strategic market campaign. So one side, it is digital presence, which has actually taken care of metros and tier 1, tier 2 cities. And on the other hand, to the rural market, it is more of a BTL activity with flex and with mailers, with kiosks to meeting the key opinion leaders. Yeah. So that is a community engagement which actually built in a very, very aggressive way. And finally, ensuring the product availability, visibility, and accessibility across different price point and different distribution channels to reach to a wider audience. I can remember Maggi noodles before the debacle. We were available, I think, in 3 million outlets, and after the debacle, we increased our distribution. We went to the villages where we were not planned before. So we went to those villages. We went to pan shops. We went to the kiosk. We went to some of the pharmacy shops. Also, you can get today Maggi noodles. So we made that particular product. We say AVA. Availability, visibility, and accessibility to most of the people. So there is transparency of communication, leveraging the emotional connect with the consumers by marketing, strategic marketing campaigns by strong digital presence, at the same time adaptation of local needs in rural markets, community engagement, and finally increasing the sales wing of Maggi. It is reaching to much more far-flung areas, reaching to more outlets, making the product available, visible, and accessible. So these are the 6 pointers, which I think has helped Maggi noodles to come back. Till date, yes, in the cities, we have come back with our initial market share. We had a market share of 80%. I think we came back at this present moment. It is to the tune of 75. Yes, in the rural market, in some of the specific markets, we were still fighting because there are some markets where EP is strong. Like I can talk today, you can even in Google, you'll find that Odisha market we could not recover till date. EP is still stronger than us. But yes, overall debacle has been managed well.
Okay. Okay. So, sir, one last question. So, basically, we are talking about the trend, the newer trends that are emerging in the market that are posing a challenge as well as an opportunity. So, for example, so Maggi relied on the traditional classic Maggi taste, Maggi masala taste, but now we're seeing a huge onset of preference towards Korean noodles, hot, extremely
Yes.
hot and spicy noodles. So, sir, how are
Hmm.
you? And Maggi has also launched a Korean flavor. Even now, together, because I started consuming Maggi with two masala magic sachets,
Hmm.
but now I've
Hmm.
completely to the Korean flavor that
Hmm.
Maggi was. So
Hmm.
do you think, because I remember, because at every B school, you hear the case, you read the case about the cola wars. So do you think we are in sort of a Korean war situation where all the brands are trying to imitate or have a Korean flavor to the market? And how big do you think that segment of the market is right now and will be in the next 5 years?
Time to time, these challenges will come to the big brands always. A
Yeah.
Korean trend which has come now, and you know that with this type of what I think there are products which is once upon a time we used to buy one cake at 100 rupees of a Korean product also. Okay,
Yeah.
from there now every company is coming with the Korean, and Maggie has also to fight there. It is not that they need not to, but it is a difficult proposition. Again, I'm telling for a larger company, for a larger brand who are already established with its own niche or with its own specialities, it is not easy to get into that particular war, because Korean products which are coming from some products are coming from Korea, some products are produced or might be developed here. For a smaller company, for a smaller, it is like a big ship and a small ship. For a smaller company, adaptation is much easier. For a bigger company, adaptation is slower, and it is not that easy. Maggie has come. I don't think Maggie Korean version is a success. This is my feedback. I don't know, because at this present moment I'm not attached with the organization. But yes, Maggie in different markets I've seen Maggie Korean product. It has got a selective success in some of the markets. I have asked the outlets also. They say nahi bhai chal nahi raha. It is not going on. Some of the places I think Maggie will come back with a better version of Korean products. I think it will go for a relaunch. This is my feeling again,
Okay.
because the first launch of the product, it is not as strong as a brand like Maggie should do. Okay,
Okay.
probably this happens because again, a Korean product, it is very difficult to match a product which is coming from that particular home land. Like if you are producing a dosa, or if you are producing a dosa mix, Maggie also came into dosa mix, but it is very difficult to actually fight a real dosa mix of South India. It is not easy
Yeah.
for a national brand, because finally we are or Maggie is a national brand, and they are coming with their Korean product as a add-on variety, whereas a Korean product which is coming and who are selling,
Core product.
their core product is that particular product. So it is very, very difficult to fight a core product. Again, it is, if you are coming out today, if you see ITC, it is very difficult for ITC to match a Maggi. It is very difficult for a Amul to match a condensed milk, which is a Milkmaid, because it is not easy. Our core brand is Milkmaid. Our core brand is Nescafe. It is very difficult for a new Tata Cafe to fight a Nescafe of Nestle or a brew of Unilever. It is not easy, because their core brand is Nescafe. So this is again not a very big market as yet, but yes, the Korean market is increasing. That also into till now at this present moment it is confined. It is restricted into metro cities and some of the northeastern cities.
Okay. Got it.
But definitely, I think Maggie will also get into this. But I never expect, I don't expect that in Korean noodles also Nestle would be having huge leverage or might be a huge market share. It will be there. I think as a leader of the category or the category captain, they will definitely be there into that particular segment. But I don't think that as a add-on flavor or add-on variant, it will do a huge, market share in this particular case.
Got it. Got it. So thank you, sir. So I think I'm all out with my questions. So I had a
Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful time speaking to you, and you shared so many great anecdotes, stories, and instances about a lot of things. And I'm sure the students at MDI and anyone who listens to this podcast will have a lot to learn from this podcast. So thank you, sir, for
Thank you, Naveen.
coming.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.